This is Trabr. We're creating the technology and the ecosystem for everything building. We're creating a market network which boasts a marketplace and a mobile-first, cloud-based suite of project control tools for builders, consumers, trades, suppliers, for everybody. All on the smartphone, all remote, all mobile, all for building. This is Trabr, and this is a building conversation. Tony Huxley here from Trabr Limited. I'm joined today by Gareth Evans, the owner of BMC Blue Chip
BC Mac Blue Chip Maintenance and Construction. Yeah.
Glad to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Tony.
I appreciate you making the time available to talk to us today. I mean, it's probably fair to say over the last several years that building generally has had a pretty checkered media profile, courtesy of some fairly large, medium-scale residential buildings.
Creaks and cracks and stuff,
all went pear-shaped.
Yep.
And obviously there's a whole bunch of legislation looming that the Building Commissioner in New South Wales is, and we're in New South Wales here today, so has got in the pipeline. So it's probably fair to say that the sector's in for some more change, whether you like it or not, if not upheaval. How does all that impact a business like Blue Chip Maintenance and Construction? If at all.
Well, that's it. I mean, I guess a lot of it's come from those larger projects, right? The developments of the high rise or,
medium rise, yep.
The basic medium rise, whatever it is.
Yep.
And when we're just working on one little residential site every 3 or 4 months and on to the next one, we have the certifiers come through, we have the engineers come through, they check everything at the right stages. We've got our checks and balances. I don't see how any more can be done.
No, I'm not saying it is. I'm just interested if you've your perspective on it, that's all.
Look, I mean, those, as the client or the people buying those places, they need some sort of protection, right? I mean,
no question.
The builder can't just go in there and then do the runner.
Well, I guess historically the challenges they have, well, what do they call them? Phoenixes.
Yeah. Look, I mean, there's red tape and building, I think, is just hand in hand, right?
Hand in glove.
Yeah, hand in glove, exactly. So, look, as long as the builder and the client get a fair share and they're both happy.
And they're on the same page.
And we're on the same page. And they get what they get, you get paid and you get what you want. Look, if we have to make some changes to the rules, fine. But if it means I need to fill out another 25 forms, I'm not up for it.
Well, I'd say be prepared.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you probably brought up something without intending to there, but I want to ask. What about the impact of all this to homeowners warranty? And that burden of
our prices are going up.
Cost, if not anything else.
Yeah, the prices are going up.
And 25 more forms.
All the time, as often as, driving your car on the freeway. The games seem to go up every 6 months. So, look, I don't know. Look, I mean, you pass the cost on to the client, but then the cost of building in Sydney is just going up and up and up and up and up, and the cost of labour is going up, and the cost of everything's short supply. The cost of materials is going up. It's not looking too great for the client. If you want a simple renovation for an expensive price.
I guess if property prices maintain their trajectory over the longer term, people won't be too upset.
No, I suppose so.
I mean, at the moment it's a bit arguable, but
yeah.
In a lot of respects, the market's been fairly stagnant, but you look at some sectors of the market, it's gone insane during the pandemic.
Yeah.
But the homeowner's warranty, I mean, it's a big financial burden, and all that cost has got to get passed on. So
that's right.
I don't sort of want to be too graphic, but the consumer's the one that cops it in the neck at the end of the day.
Yeah, true.
And I guess it has to be, but you've often got to wonder things like a current affair wouldn't exist if it wasn't for builders, because it seems to dominate the program. It's always some dodgy builder somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's the way I've always looked at it is that, and thinking about a builder like you having you in mind, you hear about the handful of phoenixes that might happen, and whatever the circumstances are that neither of us are privy to. You just get tarred with the same brush.
Of course.
Regardless.
I mean, it's one of the biggest things for clients.
You're grist for the media mill, but it's
the clients are so worried they're going to be ripped off by someone they don't know.
Yeah.
Hence,
the
word of mouth thing is good, right?
It's the biggest investment they'll ever make in their lives.
Exactly. It's a huge investment.
It's completely understandable that they do think that.
Yeah.
But how do we overcome it's the challenge, and how do we give them that confidence? And
That's right. And that's what I'm saying. The word of mouth thing, it does count for a lot, because if a friend of theirs trusts you,
it removes all that grey area.
It does. Yeah. Is this guy going to take my deposit and disappear? All that sort of stuff. I've been to jobs in the past and under the maintenance category where I've had to complete the jobs for somebody that they've already paid for.
Oh, really?
So you come across these dodgy guys all the time, and it might not be a builder, it might be just a chippy, or it might be a whoever, but they're still out there. But they always will be.
It's like anything, I guess. They're only the minority, and no doubt the small minority, but they're always the ones that people talk about.
Yeah, that's right.
So listen, just I guess on that whole issue about relationships with customers and word of mouth, as you put it, I guess it's often proposed that the best type of business relationship is a partnership. And I don't mean literal partnership, I mean the nature of the relationship. Do you think that with home renovating, home building, it's reached the point where builders and customers have a partnership, or is it not there yet, or are we heading that way, or what more can we do to get there? Because it seems to be a sweet spot.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt.
For sure. I mean, I totally agree with that. The more you can make it a partnership, the better. In my limited experience over the last couple of years, I've learnt more information is better than less to the client.
Yeah.
And if I can speak to them every day, even if it's just on the phone, for half an hour, I went through this and this, you happy with that kind of thing. I think the more you can do that, the better, really. Just try and keep them, like you say, it's their money at the end of the day, and it's a huge investment. So you got to give something back for it, and just make sure they're on the same page. And then you can talk through those little things that don't quite go to plan as well. You can build up the rapport, and you can build up the partnership with the client, which I think is a good thing.
So on that basis, what you just said is it all comes down to communication.
A lot of it is, yeah. And if you fail on the communication side of things, like I had one client who wanted what she wanted, and she wouldn't have it any other way. But I failed to communicate to her the best way for her to get to her target was potentially to do it this way, instead of throwing that in there and having to start all over again later on. But that's all learning, right? Communication to a point where you need to make sure that the client has all the information they need, as well as trying to cater to their demands. It's a tricky one. It's tricky. It is. Yeah.
So tell me, you brought it up before about the Trabr app, which I'll be brazen here and mention it again. So do you use the app for customer communication?
I have started using the app for customer communication. I'm using it for variations. I'm using it for a few photos I'll send through onto their platform
to update the client.
I still need to get my head around all the gizmos in the Trabr app. But yeah, I'm definitely using. I'm loving this. All the boys that sign in to each site, you can see when they got their You can see when they leave or when they forgot to check out at midnight or whatever. You know, you can see, and you can assign tasks to people. Fantastic. Love it. They sign on, check in the morning, they've got a list of tasks. Love it. So starting to come to terms with how to make use out of it, really.
Every day's more learning.
That's right.
Use it all to your advantage. Listen, thanks very much for joining us, Gareth. I really appreciate your time.
No problem.
Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.
Good on you.
Cheers.